balls. Fuck yes. And when she drained me dry, I'd watch her take her turn with Boone because one hard dick wouldn't be enough for her. Come morning, she'd not be able to walk properly and she wouldn't remember her own name. And that was why I was here. I'd held off enough. My dick said go get her, my mind said hands off. Until now. I should have been given a fucking medal for holding off as long as I had. 3 days was fucking torture. No more. The very thought of her dancing and wiggling that perfect ass in front of other men toppled the last of my resolve. I'd been waiting for the one to come along. 38 years. This wasn't a one-night stand. This wasn't an itch that needed to be scratched. No, this was the real deal. I wanted Penelope, forever, and I was going to have her. Decision made, I grabbed my cell, called Boone. I give up. That was all I said, but he knew exactly what I meant. About fucking time you got your head out of your ass. My dick is sick and tired of my fist. It seemed she'd filled both of our fantasies for the past few days. While Boone had blown his load to thoughts of Penelope, I'd held off. I wanted to save up every drop of my cum for her, and my balls ached in protest. My fist wasn't going to do any longer. One look at her, and I wanted to come with that tight cunt wrapped hot and wet around me. Forever. Boone had been at the ranch when she'd first arrived, when she'd climbed from her little hatchback loaded with her stuff. Sweet young innocent. Fucking gorgeous. He'd given me the look, and I'd known he'd thought the same as me. She was the one. She was going to be ours. Since I hadn't been ready, I fought like fuck to keep my distance beyond basic introductions. He'd held off approaching her for more. We'd do it together because she would belong to both of us. We'd take her, claim her, fuck her, love her, together. Obviously, he'd known I would eventually give in to the blonde-hair temptation. I hated his deep well of patience. I'd hated it ever since we were little kids, the fucker. I didn't go off on a hair trigger, but compared to Boone, I was rash and spontaneous. That's why he made a damn fine doctor. But his words proved he wasn't nearly as laid back about her as I'd thought. Come to the Silky Spur, I barked, opening the door to my truck and climbing out. It's time to claim our girl.
Chapter 2. Penny. I had no idea line dancing could be so much fun. I couldn't help the grin on my face or how I felt. Good. Now I knew why people said to kick up their heels and have some fun. Fun I'd been missing out on as I'd been head down for months in research and writing my master's thesis and the outline for my dissertation. Oh, it had paid off. I'd even been emailed an offer to work at an oil and gas company. A few smaller firms had made offers as well, but the international firm was really interested and serious about their offer. But all the work and the dull, yet highly lucrative, job opportunities only confirmed what I already knew. I didn't want to work in oil and gas. I wasn't living my life. Of course, I'd never been given much of an opportunity to just have fun. My parents, my mother and the man who I'd thought was my father, would have dropped dead if they were seen in a country western bar. I laughed as I moved my feet in time with the upbeat tempo of the song, learning the steps by following those in the row in front of me. I fumbled, but I didn't care. No one was taking notice of my mistakes, pointing them out and shaming me. No one knew who I was. More importantly, no one knew who my parents were. Thank God. Everyone stomped and clapped, swayed and turned together. The smoky air was a little steamy from the crowd. Seamus caught my eye as I spun around and gave me a wink and an easy smile. I couldn't help but grin back and wave, then be a beat late in the heel stomp that came next. When the song came to an end, everyone clapped and hollered. Some even whistled in that ear-splitting way that my parents' housekeeper would use to call in the dogs. I never learned the skill, although my mother found the action crass and said that it was one of the reasons Mrs. Beaufort would never rise above her station. God, my mother. Why did I always think of her, of the family, all the time? I wasn't at school nor on my research work trip in Iceland. I was in Montana and out from under their oppressive thumbs, completely at my mother's disappointment. There was no way they'd come here, even if it were to drag me out of the bar. No, I was safe from them. Safe wasn't exactly the right word. They weren't dangerous. They would never hurt me physically.